Hello, everybody. Hello. How does the sound? Hello, Pix. Hello, Sam, Miro, Kat, Ben, Alex. Let's see, Penny. How is everyone doing today? Hi, Mason. The music down just a little, or microphone up a little. Does this sound better? All right, there we go. Hi, Brandy. All right. A little too loud for the music. Okay, there we go. How is that? Hi, Brandy. Ooh. All right. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the follow, Moco Maid. I assume that's Derek, but if that's Devin, let me know. All right. Hello, everyone. So this is what I'm doing today. Lego Brickhead's Wally set. And I actually have a picture for it as well. That way you'll know what it is as I'm making it. And Played Pandas, aka Cat, is the one who got this for me. She got this off my throne because she's amazing. Go follow her. She's also going to be streaming soon. Hi, Creatively. How are you going? So let's pop this open. Yes, Derek Pix has no power here yet. Of course, I can't open anything. Alrighty. And I will be following the paper settings because the paper instructions because of course I didn't think to, get a PDF. Oh my gosh, pandas. No. Oh, that's totally fine, Derek. You have fun at the pool. Oh my god, Cat. You're crazy. Alrighty. But there's the two stands I assume, and Eva and Wally. And also Wally. So we're gonna start with the first one, which is Wally. Oh, you're gonna have a good time, Derek. Alright, throw that to the side. Do, do, do. New packaging. Alright, let's start. Oh yes, of course that too. Happy 4th of July. Oh my god, Gnome. Thank you, Gnome. Gnome just contributed $15 to some yarn that I have on Throne. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh Lord. Already, guys? Hasn't even been 30 minutes. Oh my Lord. Alright, let's see what happened. Jesus. It is way too early for this. Okay. So Gnome contributed to the yarn. Lord Nero. Not this soon. Okay. I don't think I had anything set up for this, so we'll just do this right now. Do a window. So this is what Gnome contributed. She contributed $15 to this. I don't. That doesn't look right, the price, but we'll fix it. And Ben contributed. Oh, wrong thing. Ben bought this for me. This was something for Throne because my wall is all tile, or not my wall, my house. It's all tile, so this will be useful. Gnome. Okay, it's too early for all of this, you guys. It's like 12:21. Oh my word. All right, let's start. And I'll put the instructions. Oh, thank you so much, Gnome. Oh Lord. Don't encourage them, cat. Alright, let's see. Because I've only done Lego a few times in my life, but I do know enough to organize everything. Those are all the same. These are all the same. These are similar. Close. Boom. Oh, this is cute. Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I have heard people say that before, and it's always so weird. Oh my god, look at this. This is so cute. Thank you for the lurk, Sam. I think it needs to be bigger. Oh, hold on, I missed something. You're not wrong, Pix. Oh, you're talking about the PNG tuber. Does it look small? Because if it looks small, I can make it bigger. Let's just say not everything's gonna be in frame. Okay, we're back. That's awesome. Thank you guys. All right, let's continue on. All right. This is the first time I've touched Lego in like probably over 5 years. Definitely. It's kind of weird. And I'm throwing things as well. Now I'm officially a streamer. I'm throwing things around. Yes, no, it would not be an official stream without issues. That is true. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Creatively, this is a Wally and Eva set. So I'm working on the Wally right now, and we will work on the Eva next. And it is also right here for future. Is it Eva or is it Eve? Never actually figured that out. It's Eve. Oh my god. I can't. Y'all are crazy. Oh my god. Hi, Shay. Thank you for finishing funding the yarn. So let me show you the yarn that it is as well. This is crazy. So does this wheel of oh my god, Miro. I will get on to that. So it's this brand of yarn, and not quite, I specifically want this one. I think this would make a really nice shawl. Oh, I know, Shay. I know. Oh my god. I should have expected this. I don't know why I wasn't, but I was expecting it. Oh, sorry. I throw that away. What other chaos beans are in here? Getting stuff ready. I see people. Oh my god. Cat isn't wrong. I've been watching that yarn for a while now. Here we go. This is already cute, and I've only done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. I'm just saying. Yes, Brandy, I did go live. Thank you so much. Oh my god, Shay. Affiliate Ian10. That's great. Oh my god. I should have known this would happen. You guys are all crazy. And I haven't I lowered my bit rate. I think that was the issue. I had it too high. Because Twitch only takes so much. So I lowered it down like a lot because I use OBS for other things. Absolutely not, Ben. I can't handle that yet. No, Sam. Okay, that looks right. I'll have the instructions in view for you guys because I don't have a PDF or anything. And it's too late to go find one. Okay. Oh, I need to open the second bag. Oh my god, cat. I guess so. Will everyone start taking off of work for it? Oh god, no, Miro. I'd rather do the Minecraft. Oh Lord. That looks good. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. And I do not have one of those remover things because I'm sure I have one, but I don't have it with me. Gnome, I want that takeover. I want that Mr. Gnome takeover so bad. I hope he knows that. Don't encourage him, Ben. Oh, I do have the Pokemon community game turned on because why not? And I also just noticed that these are backwards. Okay, that's right. A dark one for the right side and a light one that's not light. Where are the light ones? Oh, there's black. I love this song creatively. I do have the Pokemon community game because oh shoot, I need to buy Pokeballs real quick. uh, for ball. Whew. Let's throw these on now before I forget that these go here. And then a dark one and a light one. That looks right. Yep. Yep, Anna Kendrick. She does. She has an amazing voice. Oh, have fun adulting, Shay. Thank you for stopping by. No worries, Miro. I'll see you soon. Thank you for stopping by. No one caught it. That's definitely rigged. For sure. This is cute already. I love this. Thank you, Panda, for getting